Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. June 25th will mark the 67th anniversary of when the Korean War began. This invasion was the first military action of the Cold War. By July, American troops had entered the war on South Korea's behalf, and this morning we have the privilege to be joined by Korean War Army vet Mr. Earl Thomas, who earned a Bronze Star for bravery and heroism in combat as a truck driver who drove through heavy enemy fire to deliver supplies to the front lines. We're also being rejoined by Karen Relke, who serves as the VP of Public Relations for the Stars and Stripes Honor Flights. Hello, Mr. Thomas.
Hi, how are you, dear?
I'm doing well, thank you, and welcome back to the show, Karen. I am so excited to talk to you. Now, you went on the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight this past November.
Right.
Tell us about your experience.
Well, I tell you what, it would take me a week to try to explain that trip.
Really?
It was so together. I mean, when I first went there, I figured, oh my God, what are we gonna do getting up this early in the morning and, you know, going, and I'm retired, I don't get up this early. So they had a hard time getting me to go on the flight. I belongs to 449 American Legion in Brookfield. Mm-hmm. And they kept saying, Earl, go Earl, we'll be there when you come back. Earl, go. So finally I said, okay, I go. And I'm here to tell you that that is one of the best things that I've ever accomplished. I felt so great.
Oh.
It really made me feel good all over. I mean, when we pulled off from Milwaukee, the fire department honored us by spraying the plane, and it was just beautiful. And everybody was just so treated us just all the food you want, anything else you want, they was there. And every spot that we went, they had it all coordinated.
Yeah.
It was just, there wasn't a dull moment at all. And it wasn't that you couldn't understand, you couldn't believe that you had been in Corel that long and didn't have, you know, couldn't wait to get home. I just want to go home. No, it wasn't like that. It was just like, what snakes? What snakes? What snake? It was just beautiful.
Well, you can't get better PR than that.
I can't.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I mean, I recommend any person to go if they have the privilege to go and have that honor. It's really worth. I'm here to say it. It's worth it.
Okay, and if they run into a vet who's a little stubborn and doesn't really want to go, they got to keep pushing them, right?
That's right. That's right.
Now, you are 87 years young,
yes,
and you blew me away when you told me that, but you look wonderful. And I'm just wondering, with this particular honor flight, what was your favorite part, like number one, top of the list?
Well, that's pretty hard. Like Karen was saying, it's so much there. It's pretty hard to say, but I think the thing that really blew me away was when I went to the Korean art part of it. They had it so real. It just like brought me all back to it.
Wow.
And it was set up so weird, and it was just, tears had to come in my eyes from that. It was really, I think that was the greatest part of it, the Korean thing.
The Korean War Memorial is beautiful. And a lot of our Korean War vets feel the same as Earl. Really, they feel that it's so well done that it really takes them right back there.
Yeah, and of course, everyone in our country always shows love and respect for our veterans and the commitment and the bravery that you show to even be able to go in a foreign land and fight to help preserve our freedom. So you go into that automatically, but does that go to a whole nother level for you, Karen, when you witness this over and over again?
It does, and actually listening to their stories. You know, when I first called Earl about going on the flight, and he told me about this experience driving the truck, and just our World War II veterans, our Korean veterans, and now our Vietnam veterans have such amazing stories to tell. And I really hope that people will take the time to listen while we still can, so that we can really remember what sacrifice really means, because our vets like Earl have done so much for us. And I think people pass veterans all the time without really thinking about what that means.
It's like kind of put yourself in their shoes during that time and really imagine how would you handle it, because you were, what, 19 years old when you went to
19.
the Korean War?
Right.
Wow. So what are some of the memories that you have of actually going there as a soldier?
Could I just back up just for a minute?
Yes, sir.
Too? And you asked me about one of the highlights. The other highlight was they had a mail call on the plane coming back.
Okay.
And I got letters from kids in this school in Germantown. And those kids, I sat there and read those letters, and my grandson that was with me said, well, look at the rest of the letters. There's one from the governor, there's one from here.
Oh, wow.
And I said, these are real kids. And when I got back, I made sure I went to those schools. And you'd be surprised how proud those kids was when I showed up at this school.
Wow, you're gonna make me cry. So it's just like that.
We do it all the time.
So serious.
Welcome to the family.
So really, in looking back at your experience in Korea, what do you remember most?
The thing I remember most about Korea was, I think, when I first got there, I was in Seoul. And the war broke out when I was on my way to Japan. And it was changing some of the soldiers' destiny to go on to Korea and some to go to Japan. I was fortunate enough to go to Japan, and I was there for 6 months. But when I was in Korea, I think that the greatest thing that happened to me was when they developed the sleeping bags with the feathers.
Okay.
I mean, we had those old army sleeping bags. We was not prepared. And you can see my hands now for the cold weather.
Wow.
We was not prepared for that cold weather. And when they gave me that feather sleeping bag, I thought I had died and went to heaven. I crawled in that bag and oh my God, what a wonderful thing.
Wow.
So,
Now, in July 1953, the Korean War came to an end, and in all, there were some 5 million soldiers and civilians who lost their lives during the war, and the Korean Peninsula is still divided today. I want to talk about that honor you received, that Bronze Star. You drove that truck. And I don't know if they still had, like how now, trucks can drive down the road and they can hit a bomb and blow up. Did they still have those type of scenarios where you could have easily been killed driving to the front lines?
oh yeah, sometime what happened the day when I got the Bronze Star was they dug out on both sides of the bridge. Okay, so when we got there, they was shooting at us and stuff, so we was getting rocks and putting in there where we could drive the trucks across. When my truck was the lead truck, so I jumped in the truck and I drove across, and while they opened up fire, and I jumped out of the truck on the other side of the bridge.
Wow.
And down, and the commander, the lieutenant says, "Earl, get in that truck and let's go. It's a direct order. If you don't, you're gonna be court-martialed." I said, "I hope I live to get court-martialed." Wasn't no laugh behind it. Nobody laughed
right.
at all.
Funny
It was
now.
a serious thing. Didn't nobody laugh, and that was no joke either.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I was serious.
Yes.
And so finally they kept shooting us, and they was coming closer. So I said, "Jump up in the truck." I jumped up in the truck, and I was leaning down, and I'm driving like this, and I'm looking at the ditch, and that's what I'm guiding by, driving the truck.
Oh.
One of the bullets hit a 55-gallon drum of gasoline that we carried with us all the time. And that cold gasoline came down my back, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm hit." I wouldn't think about cold. I just knew it was something running down my, I thought it was blood.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I said, "Blood ain't cold." So I looked back, and it wasn't, but it was fortunate that their ammunition they had didn't have the lasers that our would. That thing would explode, and I would have just been blown up.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And
These
so,
stories.
Yeah, so that's why when we got home, they had pictures of my truck, where it was all shot up and all that kind of thing. And there's one guy was in the trench. He had crawled down this trench, and I'm driving the truck, and he hollered, "Earl, pick me up, Earl, pick me up, Earl." And I passed him, and then I stopped the truck, and I went back and got him. and helped him on the fender of the truck and jumped back in the truck, and that's where he stayed on the fender of the truck till I got home.
You are something special, aren't you? Yes, you are.
No, just doing what you had to do, that's
Wow.
all.
Now we're coming up on Memorial Day on the 29th, and there are more than 7,800 American soldiers still unaccounted for from the Korean War as of June of 2016. So, I mean, this is probably an obvious question, but did you lose friends in the war while you were there? And in doing so, how do you remember them when days like Memorial Day come around?
Well, you get to be where those fellas are your brothers. They're your family. And you think about them, and then you choke up. And you think about them, that they wasn't fortunate enough to be able to come back home. Yes,
Yeah.
we really do. It's a thing that you'd be surprised. We had an incident in our outfit. They integrated the service while I was in Korea. President Truman ordered the integration. We had 4 white soldiers was transferred to our outfit. We was all black outfit. And these 4 soldiers was there, and somehow some of the other truck driver company was driving by, and they saw these white guys, and they sort of got to them and said, "Well, they're in there with the black guys." And so they told the white guys that they could transfer out, and not one of them transferred out. They said, "This is where we want to be." They had been there long enough where we had become brothers. You just together, you was a family.
Yeah.
And they refused to be moved. And I
love
thought that
that.
was really nice.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I just want to have you remember how you felt when you finally were able to come home.
Well, I was just like the Vietnam fellas. I really felt that I burnt my uniform. I did not feel good. I tell you the incident that really got me. They put up a thing in Kentucky where we mustered out at.
And that's where I'm from.
Really? Fort Hood. Not Fort Hood.
Fort
Hood
Knox.
is Texas. Fort Knox. Right.
That's it.
And that's where we mustered out at. And so we got this bus, and there was 4 blacks, and the rest of the guys was all white. Must have been about 20 whites and 4 blacks. We got a bus to go to Memphis. So we stopped at this restaurant. Of course, we was driving down the highway, whiskey bottles rolling down that little walkway. And when one rolled by, you just reach down and grab one, take a top, put it back, and let it roll on you.
You had earned that, right?
Yeah.
We was just having a good time singing, having a wonderful time on the bus, and the bus drivers included. He was there with us too. And so we pulled over to this restaurant to eat. So we was all sitting down, and we was ordering the food, and the guys getting the food ordered and stuff, and he came up to 2 of the black guys was sitting over there, and they told him, "Say you can't eat here, you have to go around to the back." So the 2 guys, "No, we ain't going to the back. We go back on the bus." So they went on the bus, and we saw them go on the bus. The other 2 guys that were sitting there, we saw, and then finally they come over to me, my table, and they told us, "Say you guys have to go in the back, say this place where you eat in the back." So we said, "Nope," we joined those guys. So all 4 of us on the bus. So the white guys figured, where did they go? They said, "They're on the bus." So the guy come in and asked us, "How come you on the bus?" He said, "We have to eat in the back. We can't eat with you guys." He said, "Okay, we'll take care of that." He got in here and said, "Mount up. Let's go."
Wow.
And all the guys got up and got on the bus. Then the restaurant manager called the police. He was coming behind the bus with a siren. The bus pulled over. And the policeman comes up and says, "You guys left and all the food and didn't pay." They said, "Yeah, because they would not serve our fellow soldiers because of the color of their skin with us, so we would not eat without them." Police got off and said, "See you fellas," and we went on.
There it is, and that is a great way to wrap up today's show. When I say thank you, I think I speak for so many people. Thank you for your
And
service.
it's been wonderful, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I really love it. Okay.
Appreciate you being here. And Karen, I appreciate you.
Thank you,
as
Thank you for
well.
having us.
Yes.
Thank you, Karen.
Earl Thomas is a Korean War Army vet, and Karen Relke, she's the VP of Public Relations for the Stars and Stripes Honor Flights. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit their website at Stars and Stripes honorflight.org. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.